stroll through the park towards the convention center over there, and you can see that Bilbao has a nice mix of old and new, with a nice fountain in the back, but also the modern buildings as you can see up there. So I'll go into the room and I'll do some chairing today. So I'm going to introduce Jaap Gannegieter and some other people, and then on Friday I'm going to give my keynote, and if I have some time left I will give you a short summation of what I heard, what I learned during this conference. Well, I'm on my way home now, and I have to change over at Paris. Suddenly I realized while I'm waiting for my plane that I actually promised you to give some small feedback on how I enjoyed the conference. So my suggestion is that I find a quiet spot and I'll tell you something about my experience. Hi, well, there hardly seems to be a quiet spot on this terminal, but I promised to give you some impression on the conference anyway. What I really like is the conference is quite a small and friendly conference. And although I've been a few times and I wasn't there for the last 2 years, returning to the conference really felt like a warm welcome. So I really enjoyed myself, met a lot of nice people. But let's talk about the topics. For me, like I very often tell, is that in a conference the value is not as much in the single presentations, but it's more what you get out of the whole lot of presentations if you start combining things. And for one thing, what I think worked rather well was the set of keynotes, which was telling kind of a story. We started with Jaap's keynote, where he was telling that we needed to sell our testing better, and he was referring from sales trainings and how we could calculate business cases in order to convince management. And then we had stories on how we could increase the benefit of testing. I did a keynote myself, which related very nice to the sayings of Lynn McKay. Let's start changes, make visible what you are doing, align with the needs of the business. Don't give data, but give information, and for that you need to understand what your business is all about and what drives your business people and your business stakeholders. So we had a lot of talks on the human side of testing, and we can't seem to do without those. So although the QA in testing is at technical conferences on embedded system, we had a lot of talk on the human side as well. So we need that as well. So I think we had a nice combination because we talked about the people, we talked about fear, aligning with the business, change management, doing power field analysis, aligning, bridging gaps, collaboration, that kind of stuff, multidisciplinary team, how that works. We also had some technical tracks, because you might want to tell a good story, but you need to have solid foundations for that story. So you might need somebody waving behind me, but you might need to have a good story. So you need to have your tools, your techniques, your test coverage, your metrics, which are actually the hardcore thing. So we had stories on model-based testing, we had stories on power consumption of model devices, which I think is quite unique, which you only find at more technical conferences like the QA Expo. And bringing all those things together, I think completes the circle. So we had different subjects from different angles, and I believe that people that are going home and rethinking what they heard, just like I'm doing while I'm waiting for the plane, they come and draw their conclusions and come home with nice ideas. So I can't wait till next year. And now I'm gonna run before I miss my plane. Nice meeting you.